Hello everyone, this is Make Mine Vintage again with another flip through of a junk journal that I have made. This journal is titled Vintage Children and Their Pets, and it's made out of a photo album that has the cutouts in it. And I hope you enjoy it. On the front, I've left the original cover, and it also had this frame that was attached, and I just used a computer photograph of a vintage child with their pet and slid it in behind and put flourishes on the side. I'll turn it around so you can see the spine and the back. It's tied with a ribbon, and I'll open that up and we'll open up to the first page. Many of these photos in this book are just downloaded from free pictures on the internet, and I got to noticing that there were so many children's pictures with their pets that it was evidently a fad in the day, and there were some of them that were so funny. And so this is one of my favorites, a little boy with his dog, and I left the side open and have a journaling card here that's a little book, and it says best friends on there, and I love this little boy. Across the page we have, let me get that in there, a little girl with her cat, another smaller picture here, and we have the side left open with a tag and the little girl and her dog. These pages are cardboard, and the openings in many are covered completely with the pictures. Sometimes I've used the openings to put the pictures behind. The next page, again, all three of these are similar pictures, similar colors, and I've kind of collaged them together, and they're all from the internet. Across the page, we have the same concept and the same colors, because I like that whole page spread to coordinate and look good together. Girls, vintage girls with their cats, and over here we have more vintage girls with their cats. And if you'll notice here, this little girl has such a stylish outfit, and her hair is all put up with bows, and her cat even has a bow that matches. So cool. Okay, next page, more vintage girls with their cats. Over here we actually have boys. I've told you there's not as many boy pictures as there are girl pictures, it seems like to me. But this one is a picture from the Reminisce magazine that I've enlarged and used. An example of mixing black and white pictures with hand tinted or sepia colored. And I don't see any problem with this as long as the colors go well and they're vintage pictures. Here we have a little booklet that I've made with paper for journaling, and this is a little baby crying because the dog's drinking his Hires root beer. These are all pictures of vintage children with their pets. Here we have the sepia with the hand-tinted, hand-colored pictures, and this is one of my favorite pictures of a little girl pulling her dog's ear, and the dog loves her and he's just tolerating it. So cute. On the page across, we have another one of my favorite pictures, which is three little kids having their picture taken with their big dog, and this little girl, as you see, is not real happy with how close that dog is, and she's kind of moving out of the way. And this one is eating, and the puppy is wanting something to eat. This is where I have incorporated a quote. This is "Happiness is a warm puppy," and that's a quote from Charles Schultz, which I think is the Snoopy guy. And when I find a quote I like, it really adds to the book. I'm just pretty picky about my quotes. You can see here again the picture is put over the cutout in the book, and I've done that on most pages, but not all. Okay, this is another picture of a vintage boy. This one has a dog cart, which I think is funny, and then I have put a pocket down here with little vintage tags, and this even has the pink tag, but this ties in with the color on the other page. This is a vintage tag that I got a bunch of them at an estate sale. It was in a sewing machine drawer, a package of them, and I've just put Ride on that, and then put a little pocket on top, or in the front of the little pocket. Across the page, more vintage pictures I've downloaded from the internet. This has the side open, and it has an envelope with a card inside, and that just slips in. Okay, and this is color with black and white. This actually is Shirley Temple, and I think this is just so sweet. Okay, we turn the page. Another picture I've downloaded off the internet, free. And I put the rose down here on the pocket across the bottom to tie in with the flowers on her hat. Then this is off a kid's reading card, and I've just trimmed it down, and it says pup. And I love this picture because you can tell that this dog is watching this little girl fishing, and you can almost see the picture of the fish in his eyes. He's so excited. And I actually have a grand dog who catches fish. So that's what this dog is feeling right here. Okay, across the page we have another vintage picture, and this is a pug with a little girl. And we have another of the threefold. These are also off the internet. Journaling cards. And you notice here that I've just used just a little piece of pink cardstock, and the shape of it is just what this needed. So balance your pages with color and with shape, and you'll be real pleased. I have a corner pocket here made out of the brown paper sack. Throughout the book, you've noticed the flourishes that I put on a lot of the pages to all tie in together. Turning the page, we have, this is one of the pages in the photo album that is the cutout, and I've left it. And I have just, the opening is at the top, and you just slip the paper or the picture behind. And then this is a little girl with cats, dogs, and these also are little girls holding their puppies. And if you have pictures that you need to fit in together more like a puzzle, take your scissors, cut out your background, because you don't need all this background, and if you leave it in, it will cover up things that you want to be seen. So don't be afraid to cut your pictures. It gives you a better composition. Okay, across the page we have another print that you guys probably all have seen. Artist that does little kids. I have the side left open and a reading card that says pet that goes in there, and I was limited on space as far as being able to get it in and out, so I fixed a little tag here and a little tab that helps you pull it. Over here you have little prints on the side of a big one. When you're printing free stuff off the internet, if you just download it without saving it to your computer, a lot of times you come out with all different sizes. And so use your little ones if that's what you get, because they will add to certain pages. Okay? Turning the page, we have again the cutout left. I put a little cat here on the side to balance, and I have just another comparable picture, little girl with a puppy or kitty, and she has a doll here also put off to the side. Across the page we have just a black and white picture with some hand tinted. This is washi tape to balance here, and just use your different sizes to make your composition look good. Try them different ways, and then when you find what you like, glue it down. Okay, turning the page. Love this picture. Lots of pictures on the internet of babies with their dogs, and you wonder how they propped them up and they didn't fall off, but evidently this one didn't fall off before they took the picture. This is a Tim Holtz cutout here of a boy and his dog. Then across the page we have a little girl with her kittens, and we have the large picture, and I left the side open, and so I made a file folder that slides in there. And here you can see I used the tissue paper to cover the cutout behind, and the tissue paper just kind of forms down to what it covers, and so I didn't like the look of that, but I didn't want to tear my whole page up, so I made this folder that fits in. We have the little girl showing, if I can get her just right, and it covers up that. So if you have something that you're not pleased with, well, there are ways of fixing it, okay? And sometimes it looks better that way than it would have if it would have been right to start with. Turning the page. Here we have vintage picture, and this, if you can zoom in on this cat is hilarious. This is one of my favorite pictures because he just looks like a crazy cat, like, get me out of here. And this little girl's holding this wild looking cat. She's sitting on a couch, and I found another picture of a little girl that was sitting down, so I placed her in a way that she looks like she's sitting on the other end of the couch. Okay, and then I just did the alphabet cutouts from one of my books that says hug because she's hugging the cat. And this is another vintage picture, and you just place them and move them until they fit right, and then you'll be pleased with it. Over here I have added a little book, and this is a picture of a little boy holding his dog, vintage, and I have put cat on this one, and then when you open it up, we have, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, sometimes it's hard to tell, but I think this might be the same cat. Maybe the photographer had this cat. Anyway, this is a picture that was taken at the same time, but it is actually a different pose, and I found that on another website, and one's sepia, one's black and white, but they look good together. And over here I have dog on the file folder thingy, and a boy with his dog, and the dog has the chair. You'll notice I have washi tape here, kind of variegated. It ties it in together, but it's not fancy or anything. And we turn again, and we have a little boy with a dog and cat, and we have the side left open for a journaling card. Okay, and the main thing on these two pages, you see the same washi tape here, is your colors. They're very pleasing together, and they look good together. So that's my little book that's in on that page. You could use a closure. I didn't think no more pages than it had, that it really needed it. So we turn over, and this is in the very back of the book. It was very popular a long time ago for artists to do pictures of little children and their dogs, and a lot of times they would just be sleeping, and they're really, really cute and sweet. So this is a bigger one. This is an advertising piece here that is along the same line, and so I just made a little booklet with that and put this on the bottom. Then across here, this page is very special to me because this is actually a copy of a picture that I have that belonged to my mother when she was a little girl. And all the time I was growing up, I remember it was always hanging on the wall. And I actually inherited this picture, and I have it hanging on my wall now. I have an oval mat on it, so all this roughness is covered up, but I truly love the picture. And it tied in well because this is vintage children and their pets, and this is a girl on the seashore. She is guarded by her faithful Saint Bernard. And I left the side open here and I've downloaded this. If I can get it pulled out, this is just another picture off the internet. It's from like an old greeting card or an old postcard. Little boy and girl, and he's holding the cat. And so this slides in just like this, and the little girl doesn't show unless you pull it out, but the little boy adds to the look of everything. And so that is the back cover of the book. And we close it, and then you'll just tie it back up, and there you will have the Vintage Children junk journal slash altered book. And I really love this. There were so many pictures on the internet that I had just fallen in love with, and I decided I want to put those in a special book, and this is what I've come up with. I encourage you, if you see things you love, start collecting the pictures, the ideas, and you will eventually get enough that you can put it together into a beautiful creation that you will be very pleased with, and will make you happy to make, happy to look at, and also happy to share with others. So thanks again. I hope you got some great ideas, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.